Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We have an amazing interview with the BD of Runemine. These guys are building something really special. I can't wait to get into it. They're going to be doing stuff with Near. It's going to be, I can't wait to really break this down, but they have so much since the last time we talked to them. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I have it in the show notes for you guys. Go watch that one first, kind of get, Jeff's background and everything with that. And then we can kind of get you really filled in with what's going on here, because there's a lot to take in right now. And we're going to be jumping from what they're doing with their bridge to their keys, to their they got something really awesome coming with an opportunity for key holders, and then we're going to jump into the Near stuff. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, so stay tuned to the end to definitely get an idea of what is going on and what they're building with Near, and it's something special. But without further ado, let's get this started. Bring my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
What's up, man? So we're both really excited for this one. We were talking about the space has been very boring lately. And we're kind of looking for the next aspect, the next big thing to get excited about. And what Runemine is building is definitely exciting.
It is. There's this kind of like very lightly discussed arms race, though, of TEE, I guess, solutions, which TEE stands for Trusted Execution Environment. So it's a verification way to do basically, decentralized verification, right? Because you can't do that computation on Bitcoin layer 1. So, Runemine kind of joined the club, and I think they leaked some information about how they're going to leverage Near's chain to be able to help with that on-chain computation. So we're excited about that. We want to learn more about it. But before that, they really kind of got innovative with the bridging of runes over to Solana. The ticker is Elsa, right? And then followed up with Pups World Peace, and then I believe the latest one was my favorite, $1 Billion Cat, right? And bringing it over to Solana, and so that's what they're initially known for. But I think they go a lot deeper than that. And what they're trying to do recently is kind of bring their community in. They got their keys going on. We'll let them talk about that, or let Jeff talk about that. Get some more information out to the community.
Yeah, and I remember when Pups got kind of bridged over there on Solana, it really jumped up, and that was the cause for that. Remember, it got up to like almost $400 million, something crazy, and we couldn't figure out why, and then we realized, oh wow, Runemine has their token over on Solana. That's why the Solana guys are pumping it, because it's really easy to pump stuff over on Solana. So much liquidity.
Yep.
So, all right. Without further ado, let's bring up Jeff. Jeff, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
GM guys, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us again, and really glad to be giving you guys a bit of an insight into really everything that we have going on right now, because there's a lot, and we've been working really hard in the background. So pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Thanks for joining us.
Last time we talked to you, you just had the bridge open. The ticker's Elsa came through. You were teasing us with the next one. It ended up being Pups World Peace. Could you kind of take us into that and kind of lead us up a little bit?
Yeah, sure thing. So it was months in the work getting the bridge working. Obviously, anyone that's kind of worked in the Rune space will understand the complexities of doing something like this. We launched Elsa. The next project we launched was Pups. Since then, we've launched a total of about 7 other runes into the Solana ecosystem. And on top of that, we've actually even managed to get some Solana projects moving over to the runes ecosystem. This was a really interesting one for us because, the argument to take runes to Solana is really easy. And, we've seen the value that can bring to Pups. We've seen it in some sense in $1 Billion Cat, and we're actually working closely with them and got some really exciting information coming out hopefully early next week around the token over on that side, which should really help drive volumes in conversations with the big kind of DeFi and centralized DeFi projects on the Solana side, which can really help grow communities and grow the volumes on these projects. So it's been really cool getting these rooms over onto the Solana side and seeing what that can actually do for the projects. We were then like, well, let's, everyone's seeing what's happening on Bitcoin, and we're sure we can get some Solana projects over to the Rune space. So we were chatting to a bunch of different projects, and we were like, what's the selling point here? Like, Rune to Solana is easy, it's cheap, it's fast, there's loads of communities, loads of liquidity. And it turns out the selling point to Solana projects was like, do you want to stake your claim on the Bitcoin L1? And do you want to do it before anyone else does it and get your ticker in? And so we launched Devis the Dog, we launched CMM, we launched BTCat all over into the Runes ecosystem. And a lot of these projects, Runes has still been quite quiet. And even when we talk to the projects, they're like, nah, really glad we did it. Really glad we've kind of staked our claim over on that side. And they know things are going to kind of kick off in Bitcoin. Everyone knows this year really is about what's going to happen on Bitcoin natively. And we've even been in discussions with some of the biggest meme coins in Solana about coming over to the Runes ecosystem. We had one that would blow your minds, and they were kind of on the edge, and they've asked us to give them a few more months to kind of see how everything evolves. But we could literally have some of the biggest meme coins, just because a lot of them are already cross-chain into lots of different chains, and they're very much considering coming over to the Rune space. So it's been great to see. I know there's a lot of people in the Bitcoin space that maybe think we don't need Solana, they don't want us to kind of interact with that groups of people. But at the end of the day, we need users, we need excitement, and we need volume and liquidity on the Bitcoin side. And for us, this is kind of like the most obvious way, especially in the short term, as well as kind of opening up the gateways to allow these blockchains to interact with each other much more. And yeah, talking about the bridge, I can just go on and on. So we've also built a Bitcoin L2 EVM Bitcoin L2 bridge module. It's fully audited. We just did our third full audit of the bridge, and that includes this module. So this is going to enable transfers between not only Runes, but also Solana to core chain, bit layer, and botnets when they come out. So this is really going to open up kind of the gateways, and specifically for projects that maybe, the L1 is still a little bit too new and not enough infrastructure. It's actually going to allow projects to go directly between Solana and these Bitcoin L2s, hopefully kind of bringing Solana into this, these orbiting Bitcoin L2s, and really cementing its place, we believe, as, a de facto L2 that we can use right now. Is becoming much more decentralized, has all of the user base, and the more integrated we can get that into the whole growing Bitcoin economy, we think it's a massive benefit for everyone involved.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because it seems like you guys had Solana experience before you decided to build this bridge and kind of get innovative with that, right? I guess I have a question but there's two parts. First, there was so much, I guess, like meme energy on Solana at the time, and you guys decided to build this bridge, build in Bitcoin and Solana, kind of bring those two together. Was that why did you do that? This is the first part. The second part, real quick, is do you regret it now that it's slower here?
Absolutely not. To your second question, we've again, my own personal experience was Bitcoin, Ethereum L2, Solana, and then back to Bitcoin again. And I've kind of experienced everything in each of these different ecosystems over the last 9 years. And Solana just, it's kind of this 0 to 1 moment with their community, their adoption, like they really, and obviously, how much they got pushed by FTX in the first place that got them to where they are now. But there's a lot of value in, and we've seen it this cycle. Memes were everything to begin with. Obviously, we're seeing that narrative move over to the AI space and everything else. But the amount of community and the amount of engagement that you get over on that side, we really believe that's something that can fuel the fires on the Bitcoin ecosystem. And when you look at projects like Pups that got onto Moonshot, That was a huge game changer for them. And we're pushing to kind of get these other runes onto Moonshot. We're in conversations with like Drift and Mango Markets and pretty much everyone else on that side, where all of this infrastructure already exists and there's already users. Because here's the other thing, we're getting a lot of the infrastructure coming through on the Rune side now, but there's just not a huge amount of users there yet. So whilst it's still in this infancy kind of stage, we really believe that there's a huge amount of value to having this over there, whilst we're also working on the tools on the Bitcoin side to allow more users to interact directly with these assets in a better manner on the Bitcoin side itself. So yeah, no regrets on our end. The bridge was holding $170 million in TVL, and we've processed over $50 million, probably closer to $60 million now since launch. So it's certainly been something that's been used both by the Solana and the Runes communities.
Hey man, incredible, absolutely incredible. When you guys did with bridge, and there's a lot of people that are still struggling with bridging, and you guys seem to master it here. But let's get to the next thing here, which was your keys. So this is something that we've seen, and we cover the space on a daily basis, and we saw this pop up, and we didn't really hear anything before this. Could you kind of explain what these Rune keys are and potentially what they're going to be in the future?
Yeah, of course. So the Rune keys are kind of our key. We call them the keys to the mine, and it's the way for communities. We're super hyped on the Ordinal space as well as the Rune space, as well as a lot of the orbiting areas, and we really kind of wanted to get involved, get our communities involved. So we launched the keys. And these keys give users access to our community round, which is actually ongoing at the moment. As you can see here. So this is like a special thank you, because a lot of our holders have been holding these either in the pre-sale or actually since launch about a month ago for a while. And we really wanted to kind of bring our community along for the ride. You see a lot of projects these days launching at super high valuations, sometimes doing an airdrop, but you see how little those communities actually form after these airdrops and these huge FDV launches. You just see the community that have, I've done it myself. I've grinded out on a chain for a year, got the airdrop, dumped 90% of the token, and then moved on to the next ecosystem. And this is something that we saw just happening over and over again over the last couple of years. So we really wanted to bring our key holders along for the ride. Our IDO price is literally, the FDV at IDO will be $17 million. And when you look at that in comparison with pretty much any other project that has any kind of TVL like us and volumes like us, it's super, super low. So we really wanted to just get our community in from the early stage, build that core cult following, who can ride up with us, make a lot of money on the way, and become our biggest supporters, rather than having millions of users who then don't actually really care because they get their payday, they leave as soon as the chain starts, and then you kind of lose that momentum. We're really about kind of bringing everyone along for the ride with us, and this was the best way that we could do it. So not only do they get access to the current community round, they also then get an airdrop of our token. We've been running loads of giveaways in our Discord. The other beauty is we use Matrica, so we can gatekeep our key holders vault, which means the kind of the quality and the content that comes from the community towards each other has that kind of level of it, like filters out the noise a lot. And the people that are here are people that have spent money to be here, and therefore, statistically they're going to be giving each other better information. We can give them better information. We give them a lot of alpha on what we're doing before we release it publicly, and we've given away about $6,000 worth of rewards and giveaways, both from ourselves and also from our partner projects, to our community over the last week in the run up, the last 10 days in the run up to this event. So we're all about kind of, again, taking that Solana community, that culture, that alpha cooling, that and bringing that to the Rune space and kind of getting people involved. And the keys were our way to do that. So yeah, we're currently running this round for them. We've got another couple of communities and other people that may be getting involved as we move forward. So I'd say to everyone, if you want to get involved, just kind of keep your eyes out and watch out for more notifications on this front.
Yeah, man, love it.
thinking about like how you guys bridge these runes over. I want to go back to that real quick because I was thinking as you were talking about this, because you guys aren't the only ones that are kind of taking runes from the native layer into another environment. I'm just curious about your overall thought for, I guess, how maybe bullish or bearish this is. But like, for example, $1 billion cap, you guys are taking it over to Solana. Some people are taking it over to Stacks. Some people have taken it over to Bitcoin layer twos, like this EVM environment. Some people are taking it over to Arch, to whatever. There's going to be, the supply is going to be spread out everywhere. Do you see that happening to like a lot of runes? And is that good? Because I look at that and it's almost kind of like wrapped Bitcoin. Is that a right way to look at it?
Yeah, so it really kind of, it depends who you're targeting, like, and what community you're thinking about. Personally, our belief is that a lot of the people trading these on Solana are not the Runes ecosystem. They are Solana people. I see pups showing up on, daily YouTube videos with Solana people calling it. And like most of them don't even know it's a Bitcoin asset a lot of the time. So I think, yes, we're going to see fragmentation. I think it's inevitable in the fact that we can't consolidate so much of it on the L1 itself. Obviously we can, but the tooling and the infrastructures, it's just not there to have loads of users right now. And it's off-putting for a lot of users. So I think I see your point about kind of like the fragmentation of liquidity and everything like that. And it's definitely something that we need to kind of keep our eyes on. But at the same time, I believe this is the way to kind of get general adoption of Bitcoin assets, get people in from these other communities. And hopefully these people are starting to learn about Bitcoin assets, seeing the value in them, and then maybe taking the time to actually come over to the Runes ecosystem and learn how it works. Because, we all know it's not a short onboarding process for people into the Bitcoin space. I still have friends that when I talk about it, they're like, yeah, I should get involved, but it's just too difficult and I can't be bothered. And then when I tell them that these assets are available on Solana, they're like, all right, cool, I'll buy some. So I think it's something that the space is probably going to be working with for a while. We're, in everything that we're building, we are focusing on the ability to connect all of these sources together. As I said, like Solana will be connected to these L2 soon, and that should facilitate the movement of this liquidity as and when it's needed. And I believe that will kind of solve a lot of the pains of having it too fragmented. Especially if a user can come in and not even know what chain they're on, maybe, or something like that, and then trade these assets. We've also been in discussions. We've had a lot of conversations with centralized exchanges, wallet providers, and other projects building in this space, looking to utilize our bridge on their back end. So, with enough of this kind of infrastructure there, we can actually get around too much of the fragmentation problem, as long as we can allow this liquidity to flow wherever it's currently needed,
Yeah. Well, I kind of look at it in a bullish way because that supply is also taken out of circulation on layer one. And it's also creating liquidity pools that people can go in and out of. Right. So I kind of look at it in like with a positive look because, having this like clunky, slow way to trade on Bitcoin layer one is what people don't want. Right. So and there's a branding aspect of it, like you mentioned. You have it on Solana, you have it on all these other ecosystems. Eventually it's going to be kind of like a household name token and community and stuff. So I look at this as a positive thing. I was just curious what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah. Well, I think a good example here is Bonk. If you look at Bonk, they're one of the largest meme coins out there. I don't know exactly what number they are, but they're very much up there with crazy market caps. And I think they're on like 6 or 7 different chains now, and they're managing to actively kind of make sure there's enough liquidity everywhere for people. And part of that is probably because there's enough bridging infrastructure, there's enough cross-chain infrastructure, specifically in the Solana and EVM space, not to make that too much of a hindrance. So I think, as time goes, it's very bullish. Like you say, it gives people access to all these new communities. If you're a Rune, but you're on Solana, Bitcoin L2, maybe Ethereum or Ethereum L2s, you can then tap into all of those different communities of people and bring back around a much more general kind of awareness of your project and what's happening on the Bitcoin L1. Because, you know, we don't just want Solana people to come over. We want people to come over from every different ecosystem. And, you know, my personal theory is that Bitcoin will become this central blockchain, which we kind of all thought it would be in the first place, and then it ended up kind of being siloed off to the side whilst everyone else interacted and everyone else had all this interoperability between them. And now I think the thesis is coming kind of full circle, where Bitcoin will be this like unifying layer, and then all other chains will have their part to play in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And any chain that's not interacting with Bitcoin, I think it's probably, well, it's not one that I'll be investing in. I can say that personally.
Yeah,
man, absolutely awesome. Yeah, definitely get me bullish, man. You know, there's not really a lot going on, and it's funny because like I just saw a message pop up in my Telegram. Basically, people that are leaving the Bitcoin ecosystem. What do you say to those people that are, you know, kind of leaving for AI right now?
Yeah, well, you know, first thing I'd say is AI is going to be coming to Bitcoin in one form or another at some point. It's an interesting cycle. I feel like we're still in this place where everyone that's here has pretty much been here for a while, and it feels like we're just still in this kind of PvP environment where everyone's just chasing the hype. You know, 1 minute it's meme coins, the next suddenly it's a little bit of DeFi, and now we're onto AI. And, you know, we've already done AI and everything once before. So, you know, I think the AI trade's super interesting. These AI agents really are kind of game changers, and I can see why all the hype is there. But anyone that thinks that you aren't going to want Bitcoin assets then interacting with the AI, like we'll kind of come onto this a bit more in a minute with the near stuff, but if you're having these things running on these other chains, having AI running on these other chains, having DeFi and everything running on these other chains, if you can have your Bitcoin assets stored on Bitcoin L1, accessible through a bridging or through chain signatures with Near or any of these things, and you can have that then interacting with the AIs, then interacting with the DeFi protocols, interacting with everything else, why wouldn't you want your asset to be Bitcoin based, even if you're utilizing the other chains for what you're doing? So I think, you know, anyone that's kind of leaving this space right now, they're going to be back in a month or two when everything gets a bit crazy. We all know it's kind of going to be all about Bitcoin this year. Trump's going to be talking about Bitcoin. Everyone's going to be on the Bitcoin bandwagon. And I think from underneath that, suddenly you're going to kind of see this emergence of what everyone's been building for the last year and a half now in the Bitcoin space. People are going to kind of have a moment where they're like, oh, this is usable now. We can use this. Shit, I probably should have been a bit more involved with it from the get-go. And, you know, if things were easy, we wouldn't be early, would we? So that's why we're all here, because it is still difficult. That means there's opportunities for teams like ours to build the products that will move this space forwards and bring those users back. So, you know, it's kind of been a story of ups and downs in the Bitcoin space over the last year, but I think we're going to have a really huge up before this cycle ends, if this cycle does end.
absolutely.
Yeah, man, great answer. 100%. So, you know, you guys have the bridge. You guys have the keys. You guys are rewarding the keys, the holders, with this amazing launch.
One more point on the keys, I forgot. Probably kind of the most important part, but we are looking to decentralize out the infrastructure for our bridge, and the key holders are going to be the first in line to be able to run either physical mine nodes, or they're going to be able to delegate to mine nodes. So we're essentially going to distribute the control of the bridge. As everyone knows, it's quite difficult doing decentralization, especially with bridging architecture in the Bitcoin space. But as the technologies are evolving and advancing, we're working to kind of bring this back out to our community, give them the ability to either run a physical node in and verify the transactions on our bridge, or if they're not someone that's so technically minded, but they still want to kind of get their piece of the pie and get involved, they're going to be able to actually delegate mine token to these mine nodes if they hold a mine key, which will come from the Rune's keys. So we're really kind of, again, working on how we bring our community in on every single level. We have an ambassador program as well that we've had people joining up to, and we're really kind of trying to create this structure. You know, we're a small team, We're looking to expand in the very near future. We've been bringing on, some of our community moderators into the actual team, and been bringing on more people just wherever we can in different levels. And part of this is bringing the community and some of our trusted partners. So that first of all, it will be, Stronghold Solana, one of our kind of closest partners. They do validators in the Solana ecosystem, and they're expanding to some other ones. We've been chatting to them for a long time. They're probably going to be the first guys that come on as one of our node operators. So big shout out to them. And then as we move forwards, we'll bring on some more trusted parties, and then start bringing the community into that validator set, and allowing us to, really decentralize this. But we're also very particular on not rushing these kind of things. We all know that if you rush decentralization, you can run into all sorts of hiccups. And what we need right now is fast moving in the Bitcoin space. But it's very much something that we're working towards in these kind of like baby steps at a time.
Incredible. It's almost like you're building like a DAO almost, in that sense, where these key holders are really going to get a portion of the pie, really.
Yeah, and governance, and we're going to start from to begin with, small changes, small things will go out in governance votes to the holders, and then as we move forwards, eventually we will give up 51% of kind of the control of the protocol. But again, not something we're going to rush. We're going to build the tech, get the community involved, make sure that the people that are involved have been with us for a good amount of time, and then start just handing over that power to the community as and when it makes sense, not rushing it by any means.
Smart.
Incredible. Yeah, man.
Yep. I love it. Okay, so let's get into some of the stuff that I like, that I think is really fun, and it's kind of those TEE environments, right? Because you have the maximalism of the Bitcoin maxis, and they say, if it's not on Bitcoin layer 1, then we don't want to be using a multi-sig and stuff like that, right? So you guys are going to be leveraging what seems to be Near's tech stack. Could you just talk about that a little bit and how you're going to utilize that into your product offering?
Yeah, sure thing. So we have 3 products in the work already with Near. We will be looking at adding a Near bridge module at some point in time, which will allow these tech stacks to kind of interact with everything else that we've done. But in the short term, the first product we're launching will be called Rune Shot. This is going to be a bonding curve style, so similar to Pump.Fun, utilizing our own indexer and tech stack. There'll be users will be able to create, etch, and mint runes. These runes will be deposited into a Near account controlled Bitcoin address. So they will actually be sat in a Bitcoin address. But thanks to Near's super undervalued and under talked about, I believe, capabilities, we can actually control these wallet addresses directly from the Near blockchain. So what will happen is users will be able to create a rune, deposit it into Rune Shot. It will happen automatically. They won't even know that they're doing it. And then they'll actually be able to deposit either Bitcoin, Solana Near, or Solana and Near assets such as stablecoins, which is our primary kind of thought case of where this will go, into these accounts. They won't need to create new wallets. Everything will be controllable from whichever wallet they use. So if you're using Phantom, you can just log in, connect with your Phantom wallet, and you can control everything from your Phantom. If you're using Xverse or any of these other wallets, you'll actually just be able to plug in, use the same wallet. We then abstract away the gas transactions. So using something called meta transactions with the Near blockchain, we're able to pay all Near gas transactions ourselves. So if you're a user that comes from Solana, you can deposit Solana stablecoins, you can trade these runes against their bonding curve, and you never need to use a Near wallet, pay Near gas fees or anything like that. So we're kind of abstracting all of that from the users so that they really just have the choice. And this even allows us to do Bitcoin to runes swaps against the bonding curve with near finality, so 1.3 seconds, gasless, and then just our trading fees on the actual users. So we're really kind of pulling a lot of the different tooling from the Near space, connecting it with what we've already built in Bitcoin, and hopefully bringing some, a little bit of hype, a little bit of the crazy degen-ness of what we've seen on these other chains into the Runes ecosystem, and allowing users to interact basically directly with Bitcoin without the need to ever kind of swap over wallets or anything along those lines. So this is something that we think is like super exciting. The guys, we've been working closely with lots of the different teams from NEAR, including the guys actually from NEAR. We actually had a strategic investment from Proximity Labs, who are some of the kind of the leaders in chain signatures. Sorry, excuse me. It's been a lot of late nights. Starting to take its toll on me, I think. But yeah, you know, we've been working closely. It's been such a great experience working with the NEAR guys, because every team that we've been put in contact with, they've been straight up willing to share their tech docs, their APIs, anything and everything that we've asked for has just been kind of handed to us on a platter, and it's really helping with the build out of this. So yeah, first product will be a pump.fun style launch product, cross-chain, gasless, and fast, and that's allowing people to interact with the runes natively on L1. Following on from that, and the beauty of this is that a lot of the tech that we build for that is what will be utilized here. We will be building out a full cross-chain runes trading terminal. So this will allow existing runes, so take your pups, take your BDC, and deposit them into the platform itself. And then they will be able to be traded against Solana stablecoins, NEAR stablecoins, and Bitcoin in a fast, cheap environment. And the beauty here is, you know, like you said, there's kind of like this arms race going on of how do we give Bitcoin utility and functionality without kind of sacrificing too much. The very early stages was sacrificing quite a lot, multi-signatures, new off-chain computation environments, and it was the best we had. Now we're seeing like the evolution where projects like Arch are coming through, and they're giving people a lot more kind of utility and the ability to interact with other projects on the Arch network. Well, for us, NEAR was just such an obvious choice, because it gives us that real decentralization and you know, longevity. Like NEAR has, I believe, no downtime in the years that it's been up. It has a very distributed network of node operators. So we are kind of offhanding our decentralization and some of our security to the NEAR blockchain. And I can't really think of a much better blockchain to be utilizing for this. So, and you know, there's a lot of people doing it in a lot of different ways. Some are using ICP, some are using Arch, some are using NEAR, some are using their own kind of internally built node networks. But we got chatting to the NEAR guys. We've been chatting to them for a while, and it made a lot of sense to us. So yeah, so this second product will be a full Bitcoin, a full runes trading terminal, allowing deposits of existing runes. We'll also have a function where runes that escape the bonding curve on RuneShot get automatically listed on the trading terminal, and that will allow users to come in, trade with whatever assets they've got, trade with whatever wallet that they want, and just simply like really simplify it all. Another kind of crazy thing that we can do is we can actually remove wallet signing requests from the platform altogether through the use of function keys. So this means when users go on, they'll be able to click and they won't have to do wallet transaction signs every time to enable the transactions. So really kind of making this whole thing fast and streamlined. But at the same time, we can use the master keys to make sure that when users want to kind of withdraw their assets from the platform, they do have to then sign again with their wallet. So it kind of keeps that security there, but speeds everything up in the meantime. Hopefully we can get some, some much faster pace, bit more degenerate, but maybe even some more serious traders who don't want to be waiting the block times, don't want to be waiting this, but still want that kind of native asset feel.
Yeah. I love that. Account abstraction is a beautiful thing, isn't it? I feel like that is something that has been really showcased this in the beginning of the cycle, primarily for Bitcoin, because it seems like all these tech stacks are trying to court Bitcoin in a way, right? Like you guys have utilized Solana. Now you're bringing NEAR to the table. There's projects that we work with that are bringing ICP to the table, EVM. So everybody wants Bitcoin. And it's hard to see that whenever there's AI flying in your face and, memes flying in your face. But, that's really what's underneath the table, right?
I think it leads back to what you're saying before. Maybe some users are looking to kind of exit this space right now, but the big players in the space, they're not looking to exit. They're all desperately trying to get involved. And, again, I think this leads back to my thesis. I think you're going to have Bitcoin as kind of the center of attention. If you want to go do AI, maybe there's a new AI chain, and you take your Bitcoin assets, you interact, do something like what we're doing with Near, where you get to keep those assets on Bitcoin, but you can interact with this other chain. And then at the end of the day, you basically have Bitcoin in the center with all of the users, all of the attention, but all of these other chains play their different part. You'll have the DeFi chain, the AI chain, the gambling chain, whatever it is that these specific chains do the best. That's what they'll do, but everything will kind of lead back to Bitcoin, and it'll be this unifying place. And that way you can actually connect all chains in one go, because if you just connect to Bitcoin, you're now connected to every other chain that's connected to Bitcoin.
Very true.
Yeah, man, incredible. I mean, what you guys are building, I mean, there's so much to be bullish here. You know what I mean? Like Taps utilizing ICP, Arch is kind of using their own network. You guys are using Solana and Near. You know, it's really awesome that, you know, the future is multi-chain. And I think a lot of people aren't really seeing that. And, you know, if we can get everything to finalize on Bitcoin, that's, you know, and even created on Bitcoin, that's the future right there. And I'm really excited for that. I'm glad you guys are definitely building here.
Yeah, man. You know, we again, when I got in, Bitcoin is what got me into crypto. The ethos of Bitcoin, and coming from a very poor background, working my ass through university and everything like that, Bitcoin is really what brought me and everyone else I know into the space. Most of my circle have been in the space for a little while, but we still see the value in all these other chains. You know, the technology, like blockchain technology, is a game-changing technology, and not a lot of that game-changing stuff has happened on Bitcoin yet. It's all been developed on these other chains. So, you know, to think that Bitcoin won't be a huge part of this, but also to think these other chains won't have their big parts to play in the future. You know, everyone's been talking about interoperability of crypto for a very long time, and I think it's starting to happen now. And hopefully we can, you know, with the right kind of tooling and the right attitude towards it, we can funnel that all towards Bitcoin, and, you know, really bring everyone back together. It's a very fragmented ecosystem, crypto, right now, and hopefully Bitcoin can be the unifier.
Yeah, that's how I see it. You know, you say cross-chain, Shizzy, but if you think about it, though, or you know, interoperability, but like everybody's really trying to plug in discreetly to Bitcoin. You know, you don't really hear about Ethereum plugging into Solana. You don't hear about Solana trying to plug into, you know, ICP or, you know, Hedera or anything like that. But everybody's quietly trying to plug into Bitcoin, and I think
$2 trillion.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. There's trillions of dollars in market cap over here. But Jeff's point, main point of the show that he's made is, you know, that's the hot Bitcoin is the hot chick, even though she might be a cougar because she's old.
Everyone's circling the cougar right now, I think.
Yeah.
The cougar's rich. The cougar has money.
The cougar's very rich, fairly old, but still looking good, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man, this has been absolutely fun, Jeff. It's always having you on. But I would love for you to take a couple minutes. You guys can say anything to our audience. That's kind of our thank you to you for coming on.
Yeah, you know, thank you guys for everything you do in our space. Love following everything you guys cover, and it's really great to be here. Appreciate your time for it, and thank you to all of our community and everyone that's been involved along the way. You know, we're not a huge VC invested project. We don't have shitloads of KOLs shilling us all the time. We're, you know, I like to say to people, we're as organic as can be in this space, and we've really been kind of growing a lot on like the partnerships and the collabs that we've done with other teams, other projects, and guys like yourselves. So just big thank you to everyone that supported us so far. We've got so much coming in the pipeline. You know, the Bitcoin L2 module it's ready to go, and we've got the partnerships with the chains. Honestly, right now, we just don't have the time to launch it immediately. So that should be coming hopefully in February, along with the Rune Shop platform. Following that, the trading terminal shouldn't take too long afterwards, being as a lot of the tech that we develop will be coming from the Rune Shop platform. We actually have a cross-chain collateralized Bitcoin lending, which will allow you to lock up your Bitcoin on the native L1 and take your loan in stablecoins on Solana or Near. So that's super exciting. That's something else that's kind of in the works. We've got a big partnership coming up soon that's going to bring a lot more liquidity to our bridge and the SPL Rune side. That's super exciting. We've been working on that in the background. It's really going to unify some of these tokens that that have got some split liquidity on the Solana side. So that's another huge announcement we've got coming up. And yeah, you know, our IDOs start in February, so we're launching with CeDeFi, Bitcoin Terminal, and Alex launch. Big shout out to those guys. They've been really great the whole time we've been working with them. So those, I believe they're 3rd, 4th, 5th kind of February. I think we need to lock in. We'll be announcing the CeDeFi one any day now, but it'll be 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And then we'll be going to TGE straight after that at a $17 million valuation. So, you know, anyone that's looking to get in, all I'd say is look at other projects, see what you think everything we're building is really worth, because we're all about kind of bringing people in from the early stage, getting them on board and letting them grow with us, rather than just trying to rinse this as like a cash grab and get out and pretend that we're working for the next couple of years. So anyone that's interested, just come check out our socials, jump in the Discord. Our Discord community are great, and our mods and admins are amazing. They'll answer any questions you have. And yeah, you know, just super hyped to kind of get some more people excited for what we're building. There's so much coming, and at some point soon I'm going to be able to sleep a few more hours a night, but not yet.
Awesome.
It's a bull run. So sleep in the bear, right?
Yeah. I think another year at this pace might actually kill me, but
well, we don't want that, because we want the project to continue on. But Jeff, it's been amazing. You know, can't wait to get you back on once you have more updates further along. And you know, we're definitely excited for Runemine and what's in store in the future. And you know, we hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. You know, it's you're great, and the support you've shown us has been great so far. So we really appreciate you helping us kind of get our message out there again in the most organic way we can.
Yep. Awesome. All right, take it easy, Jeff.
See you. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Absolutely amazing. You know, speaking with Jeff really kind of gets me bullish again, right? Like for a while, especially last week, man, I felt like I was smacked in the face in our ecosystem, right? All of our bags are sideways and down, and it's hard to be here. Like only the people who really want to be here and actually really see the future, guys like Jeff, right? Guys like, you know, Arch, and guys like you know, a lot of other builders in the space. It's really the builders, and if you build it, they will come 100%. You're gonna see a lot of users coming in once everything's built and ready. But we're still in our, you know, we're still an infant, basically, this whole ecosystem. Yeah, Bitcoin's the oldest, but you know, on-chain activity is probably the newest thing, and in my opinion, the most bullish thing in our ecosystem.
Yeah, and if you remember, in late summer of 2023, there were builders that left, and people that seemed like they were really convicted in the space,
Yeah.
and they ended up coming back. You know, and that was a time whenever me and you kind of talked about, like, are we in the right place? We've always stuck to our conviction, even though it's been hard. But that's like, nothing great is easy. You know what I mean? And I
100%.
think that, like, that's kind of like the epitome of our show, right? Like, we started to do when we first started, we had to grind we still grind every day, you know, but that's the whole point that I'm trying to make is that once this ecosystem is built out and it's operating smoothly, seamlessly, tons of users come in, we can look back and be like, man, can you believe we almost thought about leaving the space? I'm so glad we didn't. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there's going to be people that will look back and say, damn, I left at the worst time, you know, and that's just how life is sometimes, right? And so you stick with your convictions, because you remind yourself why you know, you had those convictions in the first place. But you're right about Jeff and Runemine. You know, once they started building here, they never left. They kind of heads down. They've been building ever since. And so super excited about this new kind of class of builders that are going to be rolling out their products in 2025. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us for almost an hour now. And, you know, we appreciate you guys supporting us, you know, just by watching. You don't understand how much that means to us. It allows us to be able to do what we love to do each and every day, you know, with our live stream, and just be able to bring you the latest and greatest news in our ecosystem. And if you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we would greatly appreciate it. Emblem Vault is going to be the interoperability tool of Bitcoin L1 assets, more specifically Ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your Ordinals from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Merlin Chain Bitcoin Layer 2, or Abstract, or Base Chain, Ape Chain, a lot of different chains they're integrating, eventually Solana too. So it's very, very exciting what they're going to bring with their innovation. They're also working on their AI product, their Bitcoin AI product, to where their AI is going to be able to make Bitcoin transactions for you. So look out for that as well. You can learn more at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They leverage ICP and Bitcoin technology for you to be able to place bets in their marketplace. All you got to do is have an X-First wallet and some Bitcoin, and then it takes 6 blocks, and then you can start placing bets on their markets. They have Bitcoin-related markets. They have sports-related markets. They have all types of markets, but pretty soon you're going to be able to create your own markets for other people to place bets, and you're going to be able to earn off of that. 1.5% is what I believe that you're going to be able to earn. And so that's really exciting, guys. And then also they have a Rune that they're going to be able to drop this year, and you're going to be able to be a part of that. All you got to do is earn points. You can do so by visiting betbtc.win and start by just signing up for an account. You get 50 points. And then every interaction after that, you get points added to your docket there. So check those guys out for sure. And then BitParp, big announcement tomorrow. It's Thursday today. It's tomorrow's Friday. You'll probably see this maybe Friday or the weekend. But they're going to have a big announcement. So make sure you are paying attention to them. But they are the perps and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You can place, your positions with leverage. They're going to be Bitcoin synthetic fungible tokens. It's going to be really, really fun once their platform is on mainnet. They're going to have their testnet paper trading competition, I believe, coming up this Monday, which is January 20th. And so make sure you at least test their platform out so you can get familiarized with it. You can earn points because they also have a TGE coming up. You can learn more at bitperp.io. And then Fluid tokens. These guys are crushing it. They started off on Cardano, and they just ran over once they heard that the Bitcoin ecosystem was building out. And they were the first to offer you guys retail staking vaults to the retail user. So amazing work by these guys. If you are a Ordinal founder or you etched a rune and you want your holders to be able to earn, you can reach out to Raul, the CTO of Fluid Tokens, to get a staking vault set up. If you can't get through to them, reach out to us. We'll hook you up. You can learn more at fluidtokens.com and click on the Bitcoin icon on their website. Also, Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you're a developer on Bitcoin L1 and you want your protocol to be a bit more flexible, reach out to their team. You can apply for a builder's grant. They have amazing builder support. We've seen it firsthand. And if you are a retail user and you want to swap for Doggo to the Moon Rune, you can do so on merlinswap.org. You can utilize your Wrap Bitcoin or your Merlin token to do so. And don't forget about our integrated partners, Foxy, that's building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Clan Wars. And then Ordinal Hive is the aggregator marketplace for Ordinals on Bitcoin L1 and L2. You're going to be able to find the cheapest Ordinals around at Ordinal Hive. And we thank you so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. And if you guys have one more second, just check out ordinalrevolution.com. Some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. And we got the VPN here, guys. Everyone should have a VPN. My favorite is Nord, and you can actually get a 70% off coupon by clicking this link here. It'll take you right to it. It's $3. It's like $2.99. A month, guys. This is something you're definitely going to want to get. You do not want to go to websites to giving your IP address, which eventually give them your address. It's not something you want to do, guys. Use a VPN. Put it to somewhere else. You can put it anywhere. You can put it in the same country, but it's just not the same server that you're using. And if you guys need tickets to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we will both be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But do not wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible, guys. Just for you know. The WoW Pass, for instance, right? Last year it was $3,000 when we first started talking about it. About time I got to Nashville, it was $30,000. So definitely get your tickets as soon as possible. Hey, you might be able to make a few bucks if you did sell these things. I don't know. We had a guy telling us, "Hey, I got a WoW Pass for $20,000." So you guys can do whatever you want with these tickets, but get them as soon as possible. Use our link, and on top of that, we have some of the best merch, guys, the best merch in the entire crypto universe here. Not just Bitcoin, but come check us out, our stuff here, and everything. We got shirts, hats, hoodies, and so much more. Check out ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.